What is good, guys? My brother Kid here. Welcome back to the Opinion Spot. How's everybody doing on here? As always, the Opinion Spot has always been one of my longest running segments. You guys know that, and it will continue to be my longest running segment that I love to do. And today, guys, we're here to tap into a world in Marvel that is by far my favorite team in comics, the X-Men. This request actually comes from Trevin Dorn. At Trevin Dorn 2327. That's his hashtag, I believe. And Trevin wanted me to know my top 10 Omega level mutants. Now, if you've been keeping up with the X-Men comics as of late, writer Jonathan Hickman gave us kind of a definitive understanding of what is the level of Omega. What is that in terms of Omega level mutant? Because at some point Marvel just started saying, oh, that character's a Mega level mutant, that character's a Mega level mutant. But now he gave, during House of X and all that, he gave a definitive. At the beginning, there was only 14 known Omega level mutants. Now I believe there's 28 as of now. And unfortunately, I'm not a fan of all of them, but there are a lot that I am a fan of. So it's easy. Now, two members of this list will be an opinion, hence the opinion spot, meaning, in my opinion, these characters should be in that level of Omega level, but the others are Omega level mutants. So let's kick this off, shall we? Number one, of course, we got to go with is Robert Bobby Drake, Iceman. Iceman made up this level of, he earned this spot, this monarch, this title of Omega level. I always felt Iceman had the ability and gift to be an Omega level mutant. It was just some things about him it seemed like Marvel was holding him back. Now, in terms of this guy's power set, the man can do so much with his power. I mean, the man can go pay respects to Naruto with clones of himself, ice clones, things like that. And I love that. He is responsible. Bobby, along with other Omega level mutants, Jean, Magneto, Storm, they terraformed Mars to the point now you can live on Mars in the Marvel Universe. How crazy is that, right? But Bobby is one of my favorite Omega level mutants. Not only that, he's also one of my favorite X-Men of all time. I love Iceman, I always will, despite his sexual orientation. And I get tired of hearing people stop liking Bobby because he's gay. It just shows that you're not really down with the character. That's just my opinion. Let's move on. Number 2 on the list we go to is Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, or I could say the Queen. She's considered the Queen of Arcano, basically Mars. You know, that's what they call it now. But who doesn't love Storm? Come on, seriously. And I think a lot of people always knew Storm was an Omega level, even before Hickman's fixture of that. She was always an Omega level mutant. But more importantly, I think people just don't forget that she just does not control the weather. She could do so much more than what they basically claim she could do. Oh, she's a weather witch. No, she could do so much more. And with that being said, Storm is an Omega level mutant. She's great, she's powerful, she's confident. Everything about her. When she steps into that panel, all eyes are on Storm. No doubt about it. Plain and simple. Storm, Omega level mutant, one of my favorites.
3,
Number 3 on the list we go to is Jean Grey, of course. I love Jean. Well, y'all guys know me. I'm a lover of redheads, so my kryptonite. Anyway, Jean, of course, is an Omega. She was considered a beyond the Omega level mutant, but she's one of few mutants that have the ability to have telepathy and telekinetics. Now, recently in the comics, Jean died again. Moira McTaggart killed her, stabbed her in the back. Sucks. But more likely she'll be back. She'll be resurrected. You know, it is what it is. Because you know the X-Men they're able to resurrect themselves. But Jean, of course, I love Jean. I always have loved Jean. I know a lot of people that don't like Jean, and they have that is your opinion. You can hate her, but there ain't a lot of telepaths and telekinetics that are on her level. She can go mind battle with the best. Let's be respectful on that. Professor taught her well. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If it's me, if I had to play the good son route, who I would save and who I'd let fall, if it was Jean and Emma, y'all best believe I'm pulling up Jean. Goodbye, Emma. And I still would love a battle between them two. Just seeing Jean wipe the floor with Emma. Her little diamond form ain't gonna protect her too much. Just saying. Jean Grey.
4.
Number 4 on the list, we go to Eric Magnus Lencher, aka Magneto. I think we all love Magneto. He is probably nearly the quintessential villain for the X-Men. Everybody knows Magneto. He's got his dark side. They're trying to make him sway of being on that path of good and bad, or he can easily step over the line. You know, good friends with Professor Xavier, to me, who I clearly say should be an Omega level mutant himself, Professor Xavier, but he's not. They only say he's an alpha level, which is crap to me. You know, so yeah. But outside of that, Magneto, master of magnetism, and once again, people just think that's it. But he can do so much more than just, oh, you got metal, I can manipulate the metal. No, there's more. This guy can take the Earth off its freaking axis if he wanted to. If he wanted to, he could do that. And he's done it before. So that's just not about metal. That ain't metal. I'm just saying. But there you go.
5.
Number 5 on the list we go to is Josh Foley, aka Elixir. Elixir is a Omega level healer. Josh Foley was a part of the New Mutants. If you don't know who Josh Foley is, you should be seeing a picture of him. But he's all gold. His hair, he's blonde, but his skin is gold. He can heal anything. He can even heal himself, regenerate parts. So if you cut his arm off, he'll grow it back, no problem. But over time, oh, let me rephrase that. Let me go back. Unlike Wolverine and Angel, Warren's blood can heal people. Wolverine's blood can't really. It can't. It can only heal himself in a sense. Elixir can do all that, top that. He can heal you, bring you back from near death. But he also, even though he has the gift of gab where he can heal you by his touch, he can also take that away from you. Later on, his powers evolve now to the point where he can inflict pain on you. And when he does that, his skin turns, instead of gold, it turns black. And he can kill you if he wanted to. So it's really scary sometimes what Josh, and also it goes into his emotions too, but he's a really cool character. And I was glad when they acknowledged that, yeah, he's an Omega level mutant, because I'm like, yeah, I would think he is, just on the amount of healing he can do. That's so cool to me. So yeah, Josh Foley, aka Elixir, is another one of my favorite Omega level mutants. Moving on.
6.
Number 6, we go to Franklin Richards, aka Powerhouse. Now, that's what he goes by now. Now, I know there's some kind of saying that Franklin is not a mutant anymore or whatever, but no, he's a mutant. Okay, it was acknowledged that he's a mutant. And Franklin can create damn near dimensions. I mean, we've seen what this kid can do. I mean, he's grown up now, but he's grown up more, but we saw what this guy do. He took characters that were killed by Onslaught and moved them to another world where they lived on for a while. Like, that just showed how powerful this guy is. You know, it was even at one point during the latest Fantastic Four X-Men crossover called X4, I believe it was called. It was kind of a fight between where does he stand. This is one thing about the new era, the Krakoa era of X-Men I have not really liked, is they have kind of gotten a little bit full of themselves in terms of, like, if you're a mutant, then you belong on Krakoa. If you're not a mutant, screw you, you know. And I hate that. And I was hating that. I was hating that so much, you know. So to see them kind of get a little bit knocked off their pedestal a little bit is fine for me. You know, many of the X-Men, not all of them felt that same way. A lot of them was like, no, we still should live up to the dream of coexisting. Because at the end of the day, you're still human. You ain't. That's the thing. You're still human. Just you were born with these powers. And Franklin, they fought over, like, okay, you come with us. And Sue and Ree were like, what the hell, he is coming with you? Like, that's our son, not yours. He's not your kid. He's our kid. You know, but he is a part of the me, but he's not forgotten that I am the son of Reed and Sue Richards. But yeah, Powerhouse Franklin Richards makes the list. What this guy can do is ridiculous. I get it. Indeed.
7.
Number 7 on the list, Hope Summers. Hope Summers. Hope. I was very glad that they basically acknowledged that she's an Omega level. And it makes sense. I mean, this is the woman, this is the child that brought the X-Men, the mutant race, back from extinction. Before she was born, there were no more mutants being born because of what happened before Wanda said those famous words, right? And all of a sudden then, one mutant was born. She became the Messiah. Cable protected her while being chased throughout the future by Bishop. Of all people, I just couldn't stand that. I was like, why Bishop? But at the end of the day, she made herself, and of course she built a relationship with the group called the Five. They were the first 5 mutants that were born after, and she is also responsible now for the whole concept of when an X-Men or a mutant dies, they can be resurrected back to life. We've seen this in countless occasions. So yeah, it's really cool to see, and I'm glad to see that Hope is on the category of Omega level. Very cool. Cool indeed.
8.
Number 8 on the list is a character that kind of just appeared not too long ago in the current comics, but makes sense. And she's an ancient mutant, but she was an Omega level mutant. And who's that character? Well, her name is Genesis. Genesis, also the wife of Unsabanor, aka Apocalypse. And also the mother of the second or first horseman of the Apocalypse. Her powers were chronokinetics. Basically, she had the ability of manipulating and controlling plant life to a high level, which is really cool. but yes, she was Apocalypse's wife back in the day. So it was really, really interesting to see that. You're like, oh shoot, like check this girl out. You know, she looks cool. I'm hoping showing you a picture of her. She looks cool. She looks dope. And it really cool to see, like, yeah, like even with her powers, the longevity powers, but her mutation is just on that upper level of giving her that status as an Omega level mutant. She's really cool and really, really, really interesting indeed. I believe she first appeared in X-Men number 13 I think the 5th volume of X-Men. It was this year, so this era of the X-Men, but it was still cool. So guys, there you go. Those are the 8 that I have. Like I said, there are basically 28 known Omega level mutants as of now, but a lot of them I don't really care. I'm not the biggest fan of Vulcan. He's up there. I don't like Proteus really too much. I'm not a big fan of Legion. I really never liked Legion. Monarch, which is Brian Braddock and Elizabeth Braddock's older brother. He's cool, but I'm not, as a villain, yeah, but I never really cared too much. Exodus is alright, but then it's like, if he's an Omega level mutant, then how does Professor Xavier be able to beat him? There are just certain things about it that just bothers me. Now with the last 2 characters, guys, these are to me characters where I question why aren't they Omega level mutants. And let's start off with number 9, in my opinion,
9.
Professor fucking Xavier. Why is he not considered an Omega level mutant? This is Marvel continues to say he has the most powerful mind in the world, in the universe. So why is he not an Omega level mutant? Outside of, yes, before he even can amplify his power with Cerebro, he was already powerful as it is. This man could shut down the world just like that with his mind if he wanted to. So why isn't he not? They always classify him as an alpha level. That's crap. That is crap for digs, in my opinion. And I don't understand why Professor Xavier is not. Why is Magneto, but Professor Xavier is not an Omega level mutant? Are you kidding me? Come on.
10.
And number 10 on the list to me is Synch. Synch, what's his name? Everett Thomas. Yeah, Everett Thomas. Who we first saw in Generation X. He's been back on the X-Men for some time, and he's in a relationship with Laura. Is it Laura or her clone? It's one of them. Yeah, Laura has another clone. I'm not even joking. But yeah, the amount of stuff that this guy, basically, he's called Synch because whoever's in his vicinity, he can sync up with, almost like tap into them, and he can use the same power that they have. So if, let's say, and it doesn't just have to be a mutant, it can be any superhuman. Let's say, for example, the Hulk is in his vicinity. He can sync up with Hulk and have that gamma power in him. And now, as of late, his memory has been more evolved to the point where he can remember the syncs that he's had and still be able to tap into those powers, which a lot of people have said, in the comics have said that's considered him now on that echelons of being an Omega level mutant. So why is he not? That doesn't make sense to me. He should be. You got all these other mutants that are more alien looking and things like that you would see within, like, if you're reading X-Men Red, you find them more in there, but outside of that, Synch should be there. Synch should definitely be an Omega level mutant. There's more. I mean, I could throw Sunspot up in there. The amount of power that Sunspot has and what he can do. If you go down on Marvel.com and look at his power set of what Roberto da Costa can do, you're like, why isn't he a mutant? Why is he an Omega level mutant? It's just certain things like that that bothers me. And so it does come with still what Hickman did was great, but it still comes with a little bit of like, okay, why is he not? You know, you got Quentin Quire, who Kid Omega, he's an Omega level mutant, but to me it's like, but you already have a telepath and a telekinetic who's on that level better than him, Gene. Just saying. But those are some of my favorite Omega level mutants, guys. You guys tell me in the comment section below, who are some of your favorites? Now remember, if you don't know all the members in the class of Omega, research it. Punch it in, Omega level mutants, current Omega level mutants, and you should find the list of all 28. Then you do it there. I'm not asking you to do 10. Just give me, just give me 4 of your favorites. No, 2. I'll do that. Give me 2 of your favorites. What did you think about the list? How did you like it? I want your opinion. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you, Trevin, for the list. I had a lot of fun doing this. And we move on to the next.